Hello and welcome to the LAFC Way. My name is Karl Harpur. I'm an Irishman living in Los Angeles, a reformed football snob, now diehard LAFC fan, and I suppose MLS advocate. This is episode 2. The first episode went a lot better than I thought it would with the amount of comments and likes it got. I think the only person who was more surprised than me was my wife, because she's been listening to me talk shite about football for 20 years and she's just amazed that there are over 2,000 people who also wanted to listen to me talk shite about football in that first episode. This one, episode 2, I want to talk about LAFC's supporter groups. There's 9 of them, and they fall under the umbrella of one giant group called the 3252. So, the 3252, in the stadium, they are packed into the north end, behind one of the goals on the, the north end. And the reason they're called the 3252 is because there are 3,252 seats in that section. All of these seats during an LAFC game are basically bolted up, so there's no sitting down in this section. It is an incredible experience. I've been in there twice, and yeah, it's something I think everybody should do at least once. It's kind of like drugs, do it once, see if you like it, go back and do it again. I did enjoy it, being in there. It is hard for me. I like watching the game, and I like watching it from I don't like being right down beside the pitch. I like being kind of like halfway back, and you can kind of see everything going on. When you're in the north end, like, it is full on. They do not stop singing from the first whistle until half time, and then from the second half until the end of the game. Like, it is intense. It's amazing. It gives the stadium the fantastic atmosphere that it gets. The atmosphere that when I first walked in was like, holy shit, what the fuck is happening here? But it is kind of hard to watch the actual game. In fact, I've talked to a couple of the guys who kind of run the whole section. And for those of you that don't know, who don't follow MLS or don't follow LAFC, at the very front of the north end, there are basically 2 platforms. Is it 2 or 3? It might be 3. And you have guys on each one of them, and they are basically conducting the crowd. They are conductors, and they take you through all the different chants and songs that they sing throughout the match. And I spoke to one of the lads, and I was like, you don't get to see the game? And he's like, well, not really. The screen is right up there, so as they're facing up towards the crowd, the screen is up there, so they can see the screen, so they kind of keep an eye on that. But for the most part, they are so committed to getting the atmosphere right that they kind of forego watching the match, which is, fair play to them. I know I wouldn't be able to do that because I like watching the football. So I'm a member of the 3252, and I am subsequently a member of one of the 9 supporter groups that make up the 3252, and that is TSG, Tigers supporter group. And the reason I am a member of Tigers is very simple. The first run of games when I first started watching LAFC, there was just like, it must have been 4 or 5 games, and they were all at home. And I went to all of them. So, because it was part of the Leagues Cup last season as well. So all the Leagues Cup games, even though technically we were away, we actually played it at home, because they don't host the Leagues Cup in Mexico. I think they might be changing that this season. Did I hear that? Did I hear that correctly? But again, for those not familiar with MLS, Leagues Cup is a cup competition, and it's between the Mexican First Division Premier League and MLS, and that's basically it. So I did, because of Leagues Cup, I got a good run of home games at BMO, and then my first away game. Who were we playing? No, it wasn't New England. I can't remember. It doesn't really matter. Was it? Oh, it was New England, because it was Son's debut. So I was like on Instagram, and I saw that there's like all the supporters groups host these watch parties. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe I'll go to one of them. So I kind of flicked down through all of them because they're all over Los Angeles, and some are kind of even, I think, even outside of LA. Let's say encompassing all of LA County. So the closest one to me was the one I was going to go to, and that was Tiger Supporter Group, and they were doing their watch party in Koreatown, and yeah, that's essentially it. It was like a metro ride away and a short walk to the bar that they were doing it in. So I popped along. The metro again, lads, I talked about it in episode 1. You can't beat it. This has changed my whole football experience in this city, because I can go and have a couple of pints, watch the match, and get the metro home. Like, what's better than that? Although, you know, a lot of people in this city don't use the metro because they choose to drink and drive. It's completely true. So don't come at me. The drink driving in this city is, quite frankly, a disgrace. And yeah, don't come at me because you haven't a leg to stand on. Probably because you've had 4 or 5 cocktails. Anyway, the metro. Got it to, I can't remember where it was, Wilshire and some maybe Vermont. I can't remember. I have a terrible memory. So I went to Baja's Grill. I got kind of more familiar with the whole supporter group thing, because I'd never been a part of a supporter group per se. You know, back in the days when I was going to matches back in Dublin, going to watch Bohemians play, there weren't really specific supporter groups. You would just kind of turn up, go to the pub, and everybody's in the pub, and you sing your songs, and you head into the stadium, and everybody sits or stands in the same place, and away you go. Here it's like a lot more structured, you know, like I said, there's 9 of them. Actually, let me go through them. Right, you have the Black Army. All right. So the Black Army is a tightly knit and loyal community of Los Angeles Football Club supporters. Their desire is to become the shining example of LAFC supporter culture, which includes unrivaled support for the club and dedication to community service. I'm going to come back to the whole community service thing, because it is a big deal here in LA when it comes to LAFC and what these supporter groups kind of do outside of football. There's the District 9 Ultras. They say they're not just about football. We believe in social commitment and a life of service among members and to the community. Again, fantastic. Cuervos, born in the San Fernando Valley, not too far from where I live. They are a laid-back group who have begun spreading their wings across greater Southern California. As supporter groups go, they are newly hatched, having formed in 2016. That's interesting, because LAFC didn't start until 2018. So they're not newly hatched in LAFC terms, and they formed before the club existed. Okay. Expo Originals. They were founded in May 2015. I am so confused right now. All of these groups, supporters groups, started before the team existed. I mean, all right, I'm sure I'm going to find out what happened there. From their inception, they have been devoted to an open, democratic, and community-based ethos. Most importantly, they are a diverse group of passionate supporters who welcome all to join them. Awesome. TSG. Woohoo! TSG, founded in 2017, a year before LAFC had their first match, serves the bridge to bring the diverse generations of sports fans in our city directly into the mix of the North End, We hope in turn the LAFC community would find a kinship in our home of Koreatown at the crossroads of Los Angeles. Okay? Beautiful. The Crew, formed in 2017. I need to find out what's going on here. Our purpose is to bring the love of football, spelled Futbol, back to the great city of Los Angeles. Back? Well, I guess so, because Carson / Galaxy have been here since then, and nobody loves watching that shite. Being part of the Crew in the 3252 is a lifestyle, commitment, passion, allegiance, brotherhood, respect, and it is ultimately love. Beautiful. Lookies, by proxy, would that be the right word? I should have joined these guys, probably, because they've got a shamrock on their logo. So Lookies, Los Angeles Football Club supporters group based at Lucky Baldwin's Pub in Old Pasadena. Original founding members consist of both American and expat English Premier League team supporters and supporters of other European League teams. I did not know that. That is cool. That is probably the one I should have gravitated towards. But to be honest, I'm not fucking traveling out to Pasadena to watch our away games because I'd have to drive. And like I said, I don't want to drink and drive. And I like having a pint watching the matches. All right, so that's Luckies. Then there's the Los Angelinos Originales. They're a supporter group of members from diverse communities in LA and its neighboring cities. It's made up of families, childhood friends, and supporters that have connected throughout the years with the shared love for the beautiful game and the pursuit of its growth. Our mission is to provide unconditional support to LAFC and to serve our communities through the careers and volunteered services of our members. And then the last one on the list, last but not least, the Empire Boys. The Empire Boys is a proud group of LAFC supporters from the Inland Empire. So the Inland Empire, for those not familiar with Los Angeles, is basically east towards the desert. And I think it is the desert. Correct me if I'm wrong. So they're a bit of, I've met a couple of guys that travel from the Inland Empire to matches. And that's a bit of a trek, lads. I mentioned in the last episode, did I? No, I didn't mention about traffic. I mentioned about parking. But traffic in LA, if you're not familiar, is a fucking disaster, to be honest. So these guys, that is fucking dedication right there to you. Our logo was inspired by German football club St. Pauli, who firmly stand against racism, sexism, homophobia, and fascism. Fucking beautiful. We hold these same values dear and love the diversity we see within LAFC and the 3252. So that's the 9 supporters groups. And they all stand for everything that football should stand for. And I have to say, like, being a member of the 3252 is something I'm proud of. And I'm proud I've gotten involved in it more because it does elevate the match day experience, whether it's a home game at BMO or whether it's going to a watch party. So the watch parties I don't get to go to, a lot of the watch parties because, well, basically I'm married with 2 kids, so I can't disappear every Saturday, So I'll get to one occasionally. What I have kind of gotten to know about these supporter groups and the 3252 since I've been a member is that it isn't just about the match day experience. It actually goes far beyond that, and it's incredible what these groups do within the community of Los Angeles and actually beyond. So there's, like, last year I remember just seeing on Instagram a group of the guys, and when I say guys I mean everybody, girls as well, but they went out to a school somewhere in Los Angeles and they were giving out basically school packs to underprivileged kids, backpacks and pencil cases, and even some of the guys who are barbers went out and they were giving free haircuts to the kids, and they had a video of all this, and it was like the most heartwarming thing you've ever seen in your life. And the 3252 kind of really encourage you to get involved as much as you can in any of those extra kind of curricular community things that they do. There's an Instagram account I follow called Jump for LA, and they've that guy and I actually forget the guy's name, but himself and who is it, Carlos Aguera, I think he's part of that as well, and the global diplomatic relief. They are a group that bring down like soccer equipment to orphanages like down in Tijuana. And also we had our first Champions Cup game in Honduras a couple of weeks ago, and they organised an orphanage where Real España play. For the life of me, I can't remember the name of the city, but they brought a load of the kids from there to the match. And they also went to like a dog shelter and donated a load of food and toys and everything to the dog shelter. And it kind of shows you that, and this is the thing I actually think is what makes the atmosphere at BMO Stadium so amazing, because LAFC fans and the 3252, it's not just about turning up on a Saturday and standing in the North End and just kind of singing your songs and away you go. The community that it has built up over the years is you feel it. You feel it outside the stadium, and you feel it inside the stadium. You feel it in the North End, and you feel it when you're sitting somewhere else in the stadium. And my cynical ass, before I became the reformed football snob, completely thought that all of this was like, it was so fucking manufactured, and that was like complete ignorance on my part, 100%. I actually remember when LAFC was launched, Will Farrell and all that stuff. And I remember seeing like I don't know, one of the news channels, well, they probably all did a bit on it, but the team hadn't even been formed. And so this is one of the reasons why I didn't go to LAFC for years and years. And when LAFC was launched, I remember watching it on TV, on the news, and there was like, they had this group of fans dressed all in, black and gold, and singing and chanting. And I was kind of watching it, going, how the fuck can all these people be this passionate about a team that doesn't fucking exist? And I was like, oh, it's so fucking American. It's so manufactured. There's no heart and soul to it. I never went, because that's what I thought. And much to my detriment, to be honest with you, because when I was at the Carlos Vela night last season, there's a player I would have loved to have seen and loved to have been a part of LAFC during that whole era, because just looking back on all the footage and everything, and hearing people talk about that time in LAFC history around like 2022, fuck me, I would have loved to have been there for it, in hindsight. But yeah, I completely dismissed it. And even kind of, reading the 3252 website with when the supporters group were formed, and if they're all been formed in like 2015 and 2016 and 2017, and the team didn't form and didn't enter the league, I guess, until 2018, what were they doing before that? But I guess my point is that there is a huge culture here. There is a huge football culture around LAFC. It's incredibly authentic. If you're watching this as an Irishman or an Englishman, Scots, Welsh, whatever, and you relate to the attitude I had before, about it being so fucking manufactured and all the rest of it. I can categorically say you're wrong. Because the fans are... Look, the fans are what make any club. The fans are what make any league. Without the fans, there's nothing, you know? And LAFC, from what I've seen in my very short time, and I haven't been to an away game, but I plan on going. I plan on going down to San Diego this season because it's only a couple of hours drive down, or maybe I'll get the train. I should be getting sponsored by the fucking Metro at this point, and I might go up to Portland because Portland, before I even was watching MLS or watching LAFC, I had seen Portland, on the internet and their fans, and I was actually quite impressed with them. The stadium looks cool, and also, there's a hair in my mouth. What I thought was fucking hilarious is, and again, I haven't looked at it in a while, so I might have this wrong, but do they get a chainsaw out when they score a goal and they like shave off part of a tree trunk when they score a goal? I mean, that is batshit crazy, but you have to love it, So yeah, maybe I'll go up to Portland because it's the week before my birthday. So maybe I'll do that. Where am I? What the fuck was I talking about? Yeah, it's the supporters groups of LAFC, all 9 of them. The tailgates are great as well. What blows my mind about the tailgates when they do them. So I'm a member of as I said, like TSG, right? So as a member, then you get added to like a group chat. So I'm in this Slack group or whatever, and I remember seeing the first time I kind of looked at when they were arranging the tailgate or whatever, and I'm kind of reading down through it, and I'm like, what the fuck? They're starting at 10 o'clock in the morning. Like, they're not. The match isn't until like 7 o'clock, 7:30 that night, and the tailgates, pretty much across the board, are starting at 10 o'clock, or at the very least, they're setting up at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then they go till, like, let's say the match is kicking off at 7:30. They go until 5:30, and I'm always kind of a bit gutted because, like, I'm not arriving. Like, the earliest I'll get there is 5:30, like 2 hours before kickoff, to kind of soak up the atmosphere, have a couple of beers, and then head in. But the tailgates they're generally breaking down at that point. So that's like, what is that? 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're talking 7 hours. Fucking hell. Like, we as Irish get a bad rap for drinking. You guys are out there fucking setting up tailgates from 10 o'clock in the morning and going until, like, the match, let's say 7:30, half time, you're having a few more beers. That's like 8:15. Second half, I think, they close the bars maybe midway through the second half. Like, that is... You're going on 10 hours there, lads. How the fuck are you doing it? But they are, I've gotten in at the kind of tail end of tailgates, and again, they're just great. What's brilliant about outside BMO Stadium, if you've never come to a game, you have to head for Christmas Tree Lane before a match, because that's where everybody hangs out. And what's brilliant about it is, as well as like all the 9 supporters groups converging kind of on this green area, on the kind of, they set up their tents on the perimeter of it, and then in the middle sometimes they set up goals and there's kids playing football, and everybody else, there's music fucking going, everybody's playing different music, and having a few drinks, and it's a great atmosphere. What's also brilliant, actually, that I've noticed is the amount of families that are going to matches. It blows my mind, and it's so nice to see, like, I come from a time, let's say, and certainly a culture when I was younger, going to matches, and it was just men, it was grown men and their sons maybe, and then like, you know, teenage boys, lads in their early 20s and 30s or whatever, and it was just men, and occasionally you'll see a kid. So that was one thing that really struck me going to BMO, was the amount of like, I mean, I was, oh my god, I went to the home game against Real España, and I was in the North End for it, and there was a guy that had messaged me on Instagram, and I saw him, and at halftime I went down to say hello. Hi Matt, shout out to Matt. But as I was going down, I passed a woman, and I swear to God, she was holding a baby that must have been like 2 weeks old, and had the kind of ear muffs on. And as much as I love seeing families go to games, lads, a 2-week-old baby, a 3-week-old baby is a bit of a push. I admire the commitment, you know, the dedication to the team. We love to fucking see it. But, you know, maybe leave the perhaps month-old baby at home. I'm not judging. Maybe I am a little bit. I don't mean to. It's awesome to see, you know, kids running around in their LAFC gear with their moms and with their dads and chanting along and all that. What else is there? What else did I kind of want to talk about? I want to do basically like my top 7 reasons to watch MLS. This is for the people who don't watch it and who are still football snobs. Let me see, where am I? Okay, here we go. These are my top 7 reasons why you should watch MLS. Okay, number 1, the standard is better than you think. Okay? It's no longer the days of fucking Alexi Lalas, lads. All right? That's where I was coming from. MLS formed after USA 94, and that's the image we all have in Ireland of MLS. Teams playing on American football pitches and really just not having a fucking clue. And I feel Alexi Lalas kind of encompasses all of that. It's not that anymore. And you may say that the likes of, you know, Messi, Mueller, obviously Sonny, are coming over in the twilight of their years. I'll tell you one thing about Lionel Messi, right? If you think he's just coming over here for a payday, I saw him after the home game against LAFC, right, at the Coliseum, and there was footage of him in the tunnel after the game, and he apparently was trying to get into the referee's dressing room. Now, you know, obviously he shouldn't be doing that, but I have to say, I was fucking delighted when I saw that, because that actually shows the man cares. You know what I mean? Like, there is still a passion and a fire in him, and he has brought that to MLS. He hates fucking losing. Even in MLS, he hates losing. So I was like, oh, what a fucking idiot. But actually, when I thought about it, I was like, oh, I like to see it. And also his shithousery against Orlando City at the weekend was pretty top notch as well, you know. And then there's other players, like I said, Sonny, Messi. I mean, fuck Suarez. I fucking hate Luis Suarez. Mueller, Timo Werner's come over. James Rodriguez has just signed from Minnesota as well. And then there's other players that you've never heard of that are fucking great, like Denny Bouanga for LAFC. I had no idea who that man was this time last year, and he is, God, I love that man. He's fucking brilliant. And there was a player, or there is a player for one of our rivals. Okay, so calm down, LAFC fans, because I'm going to name check him here. When we played San Diego at BMO last season, and out of all the matches I went to see, San Diego were by far the best team I saw at BMO last season. Apart from us, obviously. Best opposing team by a fucking country mile, by the way. And their fucking top guy, Anders Dreyer, I believe he's Danish. Never heard of him. And He is a fucking quality player. And again, would never have heard of him except for I am loving MLS right now. All right. That was a very long number one. I'll definitely be cutting that down in the edit. Okay. The second reason, right? The second reason you should watch MLS, right? And I'm kind of talking, these are for people who are like me, expats, Irish, English, Scottish, Welsh, and beyond, okay? That are watching the Premier League, or you're fucking watching La Liga. That's what this is for you, right? The second reason you should watch MLS. Kickoffs are at a reasonable time. All right, you don't have to get up at 4:30 in the morning. Go looking for a pub that's open at half. Who wants to fucking get up at 4:30 in the morning, go to a pub and have a couple of drinks? No. It's, or you know, the other scenario is you're getting up at 4:30 or 6:30, and you're sitting on your couch, you know, on your own, watching a match. You know, I still do it. But the feeling of actually going to a game and kickoff is at like 7:30. I'm like, this is the time you should be watching a match. Have a couple of pints beforehand, a couple of pints watching the game, maybe a couple of pints afterwards, and you get home and it's bedtime. Fucking lovely, right? Number 3, the stadiums are great. That's it. That's number 3. The stadiums are great. BMO's a fucking awesome stadium. I love it. 22,000 seater, easy to get in and out of. I mean, the prices are ridiculous inside. Okay, that's why you have your couple of drinks outside and support the local culinary economy by getting a hot dog outside the ground before or after. Right, number 4. This is a good one because this will probably surprise you. The commentators. The commentators generally know what they're talking about now, right? It is not like the Alexi Lalas days, right? Where you had commentators who evidently hadn't a fucking clue what they were talking about, and they were using American football terms and fucking baseball terms and all the rest of it, right? You've got the likes of Max Bretos, who commentates on a lot of the LAFC games, and the man is knowledgeable. He knows what he's fucking talking about. And generally on co-coms as well, they have ex-players. Some of them might be English, others are ex-American national team players. And they, the commentary is fucking good. Number 5 is the great atmosphere, and it's a great family atmosphere. You can bring your kids to a game and have no worries whatsoever. Or you can just go on your own or go with your mates and you will have a fucking great time. Like I said before, I don't know if I said this in the last episode, but like, you know, football, we all love winning, right? That's the aim of the game. But football is about a feeling. It's about meeting up with your mates beforehand. It's about enjoying the game with them. And it's about a feeling. And you get that feeling going to MLS games. Without a shadow of a doubt. Oh yeah, this is a good one, right? Number 6. You are an underdog in your city, right? No matter what city you are in America, okay? If you have an MLS team in that city, you are an underdog. So what does that mean? Ahead of you is going to be American football, probably college football, depending on where you are, baseball, basketball, and you know, maybe hockey, right? Pretty much they're all going to be ahead of you, right? What does that mean? That means that you go out, you wear your team's hat, and you're in the supermarket, you're in Ralph's, and you might see somebody else with your team's hat or a jersey or whatever. And I swear to God, when that happens, there's always a little, how are you? It's just a little tip of the hat. It's like, we're in this together. We are the minority here in this city. But, and that's like, I love that, you know. And also on more than one occasion, you know, it sparked conversation. Like I was at the park 2 weeks ago, and my kids were running around the playground, and a guy comes up to me, and I was wearing a different LAFC hat, and he was an LAFC fan, and we stood there and we chatted. Our kids were playing, and it was great. I love it, and I don't think that really happens if you're a baseball fan here, because everybody's a fucking baseball fan and everybody likes American football. So it's a bit special. You feel a bit special when you're a football fan. And then, look, the last point is it's football. It's football, lads. If it's in your city and you're not going and you're getting up at stupid o'clock in the morning to watch your Premier League team, go to a match. Go to your local team. Go to your local stadium and watch a live football match. I spoke about it in the previous episode. Don't go with the expectation of Premier League or La Liga. Go with the expectation of, this is live football. I'm in a cool stadium. I'm surrounded by like-minded people, and you'll have a great time. I promise you. That's it. I don't know how long I've been fucking ranting and raving for here, but thanks a million for watching, and thanks a million for all those who have subscribed. Like that first episode, mother of God, I got like 104 subscribers right off the bat. So if you're watching this, if you've enjoyed it, I'd love for you to subscribe. I want to make more of these, and yeah, follow me on the LAFC Way across Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and that's it. All right, let's go black and gold.